Hello there, very beautiful morning. Good morning. My name is Gifty Ando Apia, and this morning on News Desk, of course, sitting in for Kemenina Maniamano, we'll be discussing teacher trainees. They will be embarking on a demonstration here in the capital about their feeding fees. We know earlier on that government scrapped some allowances to them. Today they are embarking on a demonstration to pursue some feeding fees. We'll also go to the Adomi bridge or the Adomi bridge. We know that there's been some kind of a crisis there because a lot of passengers are stranded there because one of the pontoons, we were told, broke down. We'll get you some more on that one, and also we'll take you to Kumasi, where there's supposed to be a demolition. Again, there is one going on in Kumasi. We'll also tell you what commercial drivers are doing. So without wasting much time, let me just quickly move on to our very first issue on the news desk today. The Adomi Bridge was closed down in March 2012 to make way for repair works, which is expected to last 24 months. That's 2 whole years. Now, it has been 2 weeks since the closure. A select committee on roads and highways last week visited the area and said the Ghana Highway Authority was charging unapproved fees. So let's go now on the phone lines. We have Kofi Oseameya, who is the MP for Eswejamai, to speak to the issue. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Now, this morning we've heard that over the weekend, actually, a lot of people have been stranded there. What can you tell us about this situation, sir?
Well, the situation on the ground is that I went to the ferry site yesterday from the Dwapon side to cross from Accra there to Sente. What I realized was that, one, there is no discipline within the area because the holding bay which has been created to hold the drivers in order to get them to go in line to catch the pontoon is not being adhered to. So you have confusion there. Secondly, the ferry has been taken over by those who are selling, who are trading, the petty traders, those selling 1,000 Adomi bread or things, simply because they don't charge any fare for human beings. And so the total number of human beings that the ferry is allowed to take, which is 200 passengers, are not being adhered to, and you have over 500 passengers going on the ferry without any auditing whatsoever. Now, the tonnage for the ferry is 300 tons. Currently, the tonnage that is being put on the ferry is far over the allowable tonnage. And for that reason, the weight on the ferry is pulling it down, and because the level of the water has gone down, when the ferry was going to land, one of them, it hit the buoy and the jetty so hard that it broke a chain. Now, this happened because there is no way of even identifying the weight, let alone the people who are also going on the ferry. So there is an imminent disaster that is about to happen if we do not take corrective measures to address these issues that are addressable.
Now, you are the member.
Now, I have called on the minister. We have made our position very clear. The traditional rulers, as well as the district assembly, myself, and also the minister for Eastern, the regional minister, We have made our representations about, one, the fare charges which they have imposed without parliamentary approval should be corrected. Now, they did not involve stakeholders, especially DPRTU and drivers, to contribute towards a fare which used to be 1 cedi, and the time within which one crosses the bridge doing their business on a trotro vehicle was 5 seconds to 10 seconds. Today, it is taking the same vehicle 3 to 4 hours. And on top of that, you punish them by imposing a whopping 15 Ghana cedis for them to come and stand in a queue right before they cross. And when it is their turn to cross, the boat is filled with human beings beyond the allowable capacity. It is these issues that, as members of parliament, the legislature and the executive arm of government ought to put money where our mouth is and deal with this situation so that our constituents who cross the Volta River from the east side to the northern side, to the southern side of the Volta, should be accorded the respect and the decency that, as a nation, we ought to manage this process in a way that is fair, equitable, and doesn't impose any burden on our people.
Now, as we speak, as we speak now, not to cut you, but as we speak now, and like you're saying, we all agree that the situation is just unacceptable. But then again, you are part of leadership, and so the people will obviously come back to you. Are you there yourself? Let me ask right now.
Yes. I was there. I was there when there was no control of the crowd. You cannot control the crowd because the situation on the ground there is chaotic. We need to bring some sanity there, and I do not have a say because from the inception, you can go and read the parliamentary answer. The Red Speaker, Honorable Do Adao, referred certain comments that I had made earlier concerning the approach by highways.
What do you mean? What do you mean if you say you do not have a say?
Well, when highways were making the decisions, the excellent decisions.
But you are part of the decision-making body.
I wasn't part of it, even though I had indicated my preparedness to be part of the process. Similarly, the district assembly, headed by the DC, and the traditional rulers were never part of the decision-making as to, one, the arrangement of things on the ground in terms of having a control mechanism like a holding bay, right, which we have both sides to control the vehicular movement. Right? We didn't do that. Even though we offered them.
You see, I still have a problem. I still have a problem, and I'm sure a lot of Ghanaians will have a problem, especially those who have been stranded. Over 1,000 people, I'm told this morning, and I'm sure that you can confirm that, seeing that you are there.
Yeah,
those people are not happy. I just want to make the point that right now the people find themselves in a situation that you yourself has said or has described as unacceptable. How do we get the people out of this?
How we get the people out of there?
Out of this situation, this frustrating situation.
Yes, but currently the situation is being created by the highway authority.
So how do we get them out of this frustration?
They should first of all reduce the price immediately to about 3 to 4 cedis. They should also immediately accept that the holding bays that have been prepared under the PPP arrangement should be also incorporated in their arrangement so that they can begin to control the crowd and the vehicles that get onto the pontoon so that the weight of the pontoon is not excessive. That would create damage. Yesterday, the reason why there was a huge backlog was because one of the pontoons or the ferries had broken.
Okay, so we've lost a member of parliament for Esojamai, Kofiose Ameo. He was trying to explain some of the problems, and he's telling us that he has not been a part of the decision making, and I find that a little difficult to digest, because if you're a member of parliament of the area, then you're expected to be a part of the decision some way, somehow. But the issue really is how to get these people who are so frustrated at the Adomi Bridge out of the situation that they find themselves in. We'll speak on the line now with Thomas A. Nyako, who is the DCE for Esojamai. Good. Well, we don't have him on the line, but we will try and get to him because we want to get to the bottom of this issue and see how best those people who are frustrated will be able to get out of that situation. It's still News Desk right here on Joy News on Multi TV. To stay. You're welcome back. It is still News Desk here on Joy News on Multi TV, and we are quickly moving to Kumasi, where we're told that commercial vehicle drivers there are demonstrating against the police for what they have termed as a persistent harassment by the police. We'll be speaking to Mahmoud Muhammad Nuruddin to tell us. Good morning. Do we have you there?
Good morning, Kemi.
It's okay. We hear that this morning the commercial vehicle drivers, are not moving their vehicles. How true is that, and why is that?
Yeah, Kamini, it is two commercial drivers, especially tractor drivers along the Kumasi Ejisu route on demonstration, and they are saying that the police along this road are intimidating them for several months now, and they have to register their displeasure about the conduct of the police. They are telling me that they are wherever they park along the road from Edum to Ejusu, the police immediately will arrest them, and they will pay as much as 500 Ghana before they will be released. So they are not happy with the conduct of the police, and they want to register their displeasure about it.
If they're paying 500 cedis, what do they pay that? They pay that as what? As sport fines or bribes, or what is it?
Come again, Kamini.
They're paying, it is gifty actually, but if they're paying 500 cedis, what is it that what is it termed? Is it compensation for the police? I mean, I don't understand it. Why would they pay 500 cedis to the police because they've been arrested for parking on the sides of the road?
Yeah, they are saying that sometimes they would have to be, they will send them to court and they will pay as much as 500 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
And sometimes they would be paid some money before they will even. Some of those who are lucky, they wouldn't be sent to court, would have to pay some money before they will be released. And according to them, they have no any along the road. They have no any other place to park by the side of the road. So they are always compelled to park to get passengers in order to have a good business to have a good business. So in the process of doing that, the police would immediately arrest them, and that is, according to them, that is not good. It has been affecting their business. So they are reaching their displeasure. And as I'm speaking now, the police men are here. Earlier they came to disperse the crowd, and as I'm speaking, the crowd are at the Tech junction, to be precise. They are now here. They don't allow any tractor or any commercial vehicles to load. No matter where you are coming from, the moment you reach to this place, they would want to see all the passengers out of the car because they are saying they don't want any of their drivers to do business today.
So paint the picture for me where you are. What do you see where you are? What's the impact of this demonstration on the commuters or on people who patronize these commercial vehicles?
Come again.
What has been the impact? Tell me the impact of this demonstration. Now the drivers have decided that they are not moving their cars.
Yeah, it has. I really had a greater impact here because I spoke with some of the passengers, some of the commuters, and some of them came here as early as 6 a.m. and they are still here. They are stranded. There's no vehicle for them to go to town, and they are still here. Some are compelled to take taxi to go to town, and some of the taxis had to, charge more than.
Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin, his line seemed to have failed us there, but he was giving us some update from Kumasi, precisely around tech, where we understand that commercial drivers are demonstrating against what they say are persistent harassment from the police. According to them, if you drive on the side of the road, you're either taken to court or you're made to pay some monies, and that they think is affecting their business. Let's go back to Kumasi on the line now. Mahmoud, your line failed, but you are telling me the impact that this demonstration has had on patrons of commercial vehicles.
Kamina, you are asking whether I should tell you the impact of the demonstration.
Exactly.
Well, surprisingly, I can see over 200. There are over 200 drivers here. I can see. If I can see over 200, because those here that I see are over 200. And
okay.
In fact, if we are going to, I think some of the passengers are even walking. Some are walking towards Adomi because there is no vehicle, and it has really, it is really affecting some of them.
So that's the impact it has had on patrons of these commercial vehicles. What about traffic? How was the traffic flow there?
No, there isn't any traffic. Because some of these drivers are not working today, the traffic here, we have a very, there isn't any heavy traffic today, as we see always. Today there is not traffic. So
it's actually impacted positively, if you like, on the flow of traffic there.
Come again, Camille?
It's actually impacted positively. It's actually had a positive impact on the flow of traffic. As far as traffic flow is concerned, it's been good, if you describe it that way.
I hardly hear you, Camille.
Mahmoud, I'm trying to find out if it has had a positive impact. I mean, from what you're telling us, it means that then traffic has been quite flowy. The traffic has been moving, and that's a positive impact that it has had on the flow of traffic there.
Yes, there is a positive impact more on the traffic here. It has been moving, the community.
So that's like the good and the bad side. But what are the police saying? I mean, have you spoken to the regional commander, the PRO? What are they saying?
The police haven't spoken about the matter yet, but some of the drivers, some of them, I saw about 3 of them have been arrested during the demonstration, and we don't know what would happen to them. We are yet to find out what will happen to those persons.
What led to their arrest? Can you tell us what led to their arrest?
Coming, your line is too bad.
Mahmoud, I'm trying to find out what led to the arrest of these three drivers that you say have been taken by the police.
I think they were part of the demonstration. So when the police came in, they arrested those 3 people. Like they've taken them away. We don't know where exactly they've been taken. We'll be finding out later what will happen to those drivers.
And the patrons of these commercial vehicles will be very angry. What are they telling you as well? Hello, Mahmoud, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Camille.
What are the patrons of this Churchill telling you?
You're talking about the drivers?
No, the patrons. People who use the commercial vehicles. and who you tell me now are walking to their destinations. I mean, how was their mood? What are they telling you? It appears yes, go ahead.
Yeah, they are not happy about it, and like I said earlier, Kemini, they are not happy about it.
Of course, they're not happy, but who are they angry at? Are they angry with the police because they are the reason why this demonstration is going on as far as the drivers are concerned, or are they angry with the drivers for deciding to go on that demonstration?
They are angry with the police, Kemini. They are angry with the police because of what they say they've been doing to them.
So finally,
yeah.
what has been the Kumasi Metropolitan Authority's reaction to all these confusion, if you like?
Camila, we haven't seen any of them yet. We haven't seen any of them yet. We are anticipating that they will come to the scene very soon, but we have not seen any of them yet.
All right, thank you very much. Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin has been a correspondent in the Ashanti region, giving us updates on the situation in Kumasi, where drivers are demonstrating against the police for what they have called persistent harassment. Now, they have parked their vehicles, and patrons of their vehicles are having to walk to their destination. We also get you some updates on a demolition exercise that we understand will be underway there in Kumasi. We lost Mahmoud, but when we get him back, we'll find out from him exactly what is happening. But you do know, and as I told you earlier on, that the Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana have said that this morning they will be embarking on a nationwide demonstration if government fails to pay their feeding fees. It's quite an interesting twist to the situation, because earlier on allowances were strapped by government, and President Mahama has indicated that he stands by the Education Ministry in that decision. Well, when we return from this break, we will delve deeper into that story. Please stay. You're welcome back, and we're still worried about stranded passengers, or stranded passengers back in Adomi, stranded passengers here in the Ashanti regional capital in Kumasi. And so that's what we put on our Facebook. It says commercial drivers in Kumasi are demonstrating over what they term persistent harassment by the police. They are accusing the police of extortion and unwarranted arrest. Mohammed Nuruddin has reported that the drivers are unwilling to return to work until they have assurances from the police that officers will stop harassing them. Well, we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, we've been asking you to share your thought with us. And Jefferson Quaino says, if you do the right thing, the police wouldn't harass you. Eric Tamate Sikache says, interesting times. God save GH. Can't wait for 2016. Maloni Fiam Koblavi, simple as ABC. Curse any silly officer who extorts money from you. Really? Majority of police officers are found on extorting money from drivers. And Dixon Desire says, from Laura, what else will you do in Ghana and policemen will not harass you? Even the dead body in a coffin is harassed. Well, those are some of your comments on our Facebook wall. We entreat you to just keep your thoughts coming in. If you're also watching us anywhere around the Adomi Bridge and you have any updates, you have any pictures you want to post on our Facebook, we'll be glad to share it with the rest of the world who are watching. But let us know your experiences if you have tried to be on that around Adomi, and if you have tried to cross the river onto the other side. But let's go back to Kumasi and speak about a demolition exercise. Now, the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly this morning have indicated that there will be a demolition exercise in Suame. And if you know Suame in Kumasi, it's more like a hub of industrial activities. So let's go to Mohammed Nuruddin to tell us briefly, Mahmoud, what does the KMA really intend to achieve with this demolition? Where are they going to, what are their targets as far as the demolition exercise is concerned? Hello?
Hello, Gifty.
Yes. Tell me about the demolition exercise in Kumasi that the KMA is intending to embark on.
Well, if the exercise took place at Swame Decoration, and what happened was that KMA this morning went there to demolish some structures that they said they have served notice to the mechanics there, and they asked them to vacate the area and that they were coming to demolish it. But we have spoken with some of the mechanics and some traders there, and what they are also saying is that KMB hasn't served them with any notice, and they haven't indicated to them that they were coming to demolish the area. And for that matter, they are not happy with the exercise, and they would have wished that KMB had told them or had at least sent them to court, because they say they've worked there for over 30 years, and for that matter, they cannot be KMB cannot evict them or cannot take them out of the place just like that. So they need some explanations from the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly.
But working there for 30 years doesn't necessarily guarantee that you own the place if you actually do not own the place. Did they say anything to that effect?
Yeah, they actually said that, but they are saying since they are there, it's very important that KMA should have made known to them that they are coming to demolish the structures. But I have also been speaking to one of the guys from KMA, and he told me that they have had some agreement with the mechanics and some of the traders there, and they've agreed that they're going to relocate them to a particular area for the meantime, so that place for decoration will be used for another project. They will use it to construct some stores and stores, and so they have indicated to them that they should relocate to one area, I think Methodist, but the mechanics and some the traders are saying they haven't told them anything about that, and so they are not happy.
So how many structures are involved in this demolition?
There are many, but we have been told that it has affected over 300 traders and mechanics there.
300, that's a lot.
Over.
But are they, so the demolition has already happened. How many structures have actually been destroyed, or did they give them some time to, I mean, as they came in, to, as it were, take their things, take their belongings out?
Yeah, I mean, I must say that some of the containers, according to authorities that came out saying they were going to carry some of the containers to where they have been asked to relocate. But the cars and the other things, they tow all of them. They are going to tow all of them to the KMA, to the assembly, because if they send the cars to where they've been asked to relocate, maybe something would happen to the cars, and they would take the responsibility of that. So they will send them all the cars to KMA, and then later the owners would come and then take their cars.
So how do owners of these vehicles, have you spoken to some of them? How do they take this?
Well, they are not happy about it, but you know, like I said, they came here thinking that if they send it, relocate it to where they've asked them to go, something might happen to the cars, and they would have to take responsibility of that. That's what one of the guys from KMA has been telling me. So it is a good decision that they are sending the cars to the assembly, and I'm told that the owners of the car would have to pay some amount when they come to the assembly before they take it, because a car has to tow those distance to the.
But how does that become the responsibility of the owner of the car who has taken his car for repairs? How have they explained that? Can you hear me, Mahmood?
Yeah, give the camera again.
I'm saying that if I take my car to the mechanic to get it fixed and you decide to move the mechanic, it doesn't become my responsibility to pay for the cost of moving my car?
Well, they haven't been able to answer that, but they maintain that if it will be best for the assembly if they tow the cars to the assembly, that would be the best decision for them.
So I hope that this demolition exercise was unconfrontational, would you say? Mahmoud, was this exercise unconfrontational? It appears that we've lost him again, probably because of the rain. The lines are not so good. The lines are not so good. But that is it. If you have left your vehicle at Swami with any mechanic, what the authorities there in Kumasi are saying is that you should be finding them at the assembly headquarters, because they are demolishing all structures belonging to those people there. Let's now talk about teacher trainee. As I told you earlier on, the Teacher Trainee Association of Ghana have this morning embarked on a nationwide demonstration, and they are saying that if government fails to pay their feeding fees to their respective training colleges in the past, and if government is not doing that, then they are obviously setting up this demonstration to protest that. Earlier on this year, government struck the allowance paid to teacher trainees and replaced it with loans as well as feeding fees for trainees. Matilda Wamega is at the demonstration site, or well, she is with the demonstrating teacher trainees, and she will get on the lines with us right now. Hello, Matilda.
Hello.
You sound very excited in the midst of a lot of demonstrators. Tell us what's happening there.
Well, what I can tell you is that over 200 of these teacher trainees, that is the Accra and the Eastern sector, have gathered here this morning, demonstrating. Their message to government is that their message to government is government to review them.
Matilda, can you excuse yourself a little away from the demonstrators so that we can hear you quite clearly?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but we need to hear you a bit more. Well, it's quite faint. If you could just move a little away from the demonstrators, and then you can give us your report. Go ahead, Matilda. Go ahead.
Okay. It's about 200 of these teachers.
Okay, we will try and get Matilda. She appears to have gotten lost in the midst of the demonstrators. But as you know, teacher trainees are demonstrating against government for not paying their feeding allowances, and that is on top of the fact that earlier this year, teacher trainee allowances was scrapped and they were told to go for loans. Of course, when you go for loans and you're paying back, they don't seem to be very happy with that. But we'll get the details from Matilda when we return once again. Okay, we have Matilda on the line now. Matilda, give us your report.
Well, what I can tell you is that it is a demonstration between the Accra and the Eastern sector of the teacher trainees.
Okay.
And they are heading towards the Ministry of Education to present their petition to the minister, just to address their concerns for government to review the stripping off of the teacher allowance. So that is the message that they are carrying out to government this morning.
Now let me understand you, Matilda. Are they asking for a review of the decision to scrap the teacher trainee allowance, or they are really talking about their feeding allowance?
What I gathered from them is that earlier the Ministry of Education had a dialogue session with them and promised to pay off their feeding allowances. And first semester is already gone. They are entering the second semester, and nothing of that sort has been done for them. So they are just dealing with government to review these allowances that have been stripped off. So that is the message they are carrying out this morning to government.
That's why I get a bit confused. Hasn't this settled with them already at this time that the teacher trainee allowance will not be replaced? Because indeed, President Mahama mentioned earlier on that that is a decision taken by the Ministry of Education and that he backs them fully, and so he wasn't going to oversee, if you like, the review of such a decision.
Exactly their point. They tell me that their government promised them that these issues will be resolved. But as we speak now, nothing of that sort has taken place. That is why they are just pleading with government to come in and then review these allowances that have been scraped off.
I assume they have placards. What have they written on the placards?
First years can't pay their fees, respect the teachers, restore students' allowances, no teacher, no country, we need our allowance badly. These are some of the messages that they have written on their placards.
Can we speak to any of their leaders? Matilda?
Hello?
Is it possible to speak with any of the leaders of the demonstration?
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting close to one of them.
Okay.
Speak to them.
Hello, Matilda. Do we have any of the leaders on the line? Okay, it's just been a bit difficult because of the excitement there in the demonstration and everything, but we're trying to get a bit more explanation from the leadership of this association, because one would have thought that at this point in time the teachers would have settled with the idea, because it didn't look at all like the Education Ministry was going to review that decision. The decision was that teacher trainee allowances that was given to teacher, and as the ministry explains, it was something that was done to be some kind of an incentive to teachers so that we have a lot more people venturing into the field of teaching. But that has had to be taken off with the current administration, because according to the Education Ministry, it was a move earlier in the years to get teachers to go to school, but now it would be better if it is scrapped, because, and President Mahama has noted that the number of teacher trainee intake increased from 9,000 to 15,000 with the scrapping of this allowance, and that is why he backs the Education Ministry fully. We're still awaiting some more of your comments on our Facebook page, and of course I told you we'll be sharing it with the rest of the world. But we try to speak with Matilda Wamega, who is with the demonstrators. They are marching, we're told, to the Education Ministry, probably to present a petition to the ministry there. You're still watching News Desk right here on Joy News on Multi TV. I am Gifty Andopia, and I've been sitting in for Kemini Nyamani Amano, which is why Mahmoud Muhammad Nuruddin kept referring to me as such. But the issues that we brought to you this morning was that teacher trainees were embarking on a demonstration, and that of course was the last issue that we touched on. Speaking with Matilda Wamega, who is with the demonstrators, we're trying to get really their concern. Is it that they're demonstrating against the scrapping of the teacher training allowance because they've done that a number of times and nothing has changed yet, or is it that they are really pursuing their feeding fees or feeding allowance, if you like? We'll get you an update on news today at 12. We also spoke about the Adomi bridge. We're told this morning that about 3,000, if you like, maybe the number may have reduced by now, passengers were stranded passengers wanting to move from one side of the river to the other side because Adomi Bridge has been shut down for repair works. Those people have been stranded. And the question that we're really asking is, did we foresee these things? And if we did, what were the contingency plans that we put in place to ensure that passengers do not go through the frustration, the kind of frustration that have been described to us this morning? We'll also get you an update on that on news today. We also told you about the Kumasi demolition exercise. So, as I said earlier on, if you have taken your vehicles to any mechanics in Swami, in Kumasi, then you should be heading towards the assembly to pick up your vehicle, because the demolition exercise required that they moved those vehicles there. And I'm told that you'll be bearing the cost. I don't know how true that can be. We also told you about a demonstration by commercial drivers around tech, because they are saying that the police has been harassing them consistently and they don't understand. So today they have parked the vehicles, they're not moving. So people who actually patronize their services have had to walk to their destination. Another frustration there. But that's it for News Desk this morning. As I said earlier, I've been sitting in for Kevini Nyamani Amano. Do stay, because we will bring you some more news on News Today.